You're trying to get healthier, but you're stuck between juicing versus blending and a bunch of bad advice. Most people say juicing strips out all the fiber, so smoothies have to be better, right? Well, that's not just wrong, it's horribly misleading. If you want the truth, we're going to break down the differences in fiber, which one is better for nutrients, and how both of them work with sugar. That way you can decide which one's actually better for your goals, and if getting a juicer is worth it before spending over $500. Before we get into the health stuff, let's start with some basics. What can you actually put into each machine? Try throwing a pound of celery into a blender. You'll get stuck with a thick mess that's almost impossible to drink without straining. Blenders are great, but can turn things into a chunky paste nobody wants to drink. For juicers, there's a simple rule to follow. If you can squeeze it and juice comes out, it works in a juicer. Anything like celery, cucumbers, apples, carrots, ginger, leafy greens, citrus, and beets, those will work. Juicers don't work with bananas, avocados, peanut butter, oats, or ice, but blenders do. Now, if I put 2 glasses in front of you, one with juice and one with a smoothie, and ask you which one has fiber, what would you say? You'd point to the smoothie, right? Most people are quick to write off juicing because there's no fiber, but there's actually 2 types, soluble and insoluble. Insoluble fiber is inside the pulp. That's the stuff that juicers take out. But soluble fiber dissolves in water. And what do you think juices are made out of? Ding, 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 water. So when you're drinking a juice, you're still getting some fiber. And no juice removes 100% of the pulp, so there's still some insoluble fiber in there as well. But here's the part that might surprise you. More fiber isn't always better, especially for some people that deal with issues like constipation. Think of your digestive system as a highway and cars are the fiber. If traffic is already backed up, adding more cars or more fiber can make things worse. Studies show that some people with digestive problems who reduce their fiber intake experience less bloating, less pain, and less discomfort. So smoothies give you more fiber than juices, but juices still have fiber. And yes, there are some good benefits to fiber, but too much of a good thing isn't always a good thing. But what about nutrients? Are smoothies going to give you more or are juices? It comes down to 2 things, concentration and speed. To make 1 glass of juice, you might use 2 oranges, 2 cucumbers, a nice chunk of ginger, and a giant handful of spinach. It's pretty hard to eat all of that in one sitting, and it's going to take you a while. But with juicing, you're extracting all the vitamins and nutrients into a single glass. It's concentrated, and because the insoluble fiber is mostly removed, your body can absorb it quicker. It can be good and bad, which I'll explain later. With smoothies, you're more limited in terms of nutrients. You can only fit so much in a blender before it becomes too thick or too filling. So smoothies give you less nutrients than juices, but here's the catch. If you care about getting the most nutrients, the type of juicer you use actually makes a massive difference. The juicer I'm using in this video is the Nama J2. I've tested more than 12 juicers over the years, and this one always lands in my top 3. The J2 is a cold press machine, so it squeezes fruits and vegetables slowly and with less heat. That means less oxidation and better nutrient retention versus those cheap, fast, and loud centrifugal juicers. A study found out that after 3 days, cold pressed juice lost about 12% of its vitamin A content, while centrifugal juice lost 46%. Cold press machines are better for vitamins and nutrients, but they do cost more. If you want to check out the J2, I'll put a link in the description. The link saves you money and it helps support the channel. So juices give you more nutrients that absorb faster. That sounds like a win, right? Well, there's a flip side to that speed, and it has to do with sugar. When blood sugar spikes frequently, it's not the healthiest thing in the world. But here's what most people get wrong. It's not about avoiding sugar entirely, it's about how much, how fast, and what you pair it with. One massive critique about juices is that they're just sugar water. And yeah, if you juice nothing but apples and oranges, that's pretty fair. But why do smoothies get a free pass? Think about it. If you put 2 bananas, a cup of mango, some honey for sweetness, and flavored yogurt, that can have more sugar than a can of Coca-Cola. But because it has fiber and the sugar comes from fruit, it's gotta be fine, right? Meanwhile, somebody makes a green juice with celery, cucumber, spinach, and an apple, and suddenly they're the ones drinking the sugar water. Here's the deal. Both can be loaded with sugar, or both can be healthy. It really just depends on what you put in them. For juice, I like to stick to the 80-20 rule, which is 80% vegetables and 20% fruits. That way, you're taking in more plants and less sugar while making the drink taste amazing. Now, smoothies can have more fiber, which can help prevent these blood sugar spikes, while juices are going to spike your blood sugar more, but there are some simple ways around this that nobody talks about. First, I like to drink my juice slowly and with a meal. If the juice has tons of sugar, I don't chug it on an empty stomach. The fiber that is in the meal and the slow sips can help prevent those spikes. When it comes to blood sugar spikes, smoothies have a slight edge, but if you drink juice the proper way, it doesn't really matter that much. It really depends on the ingredients, if you just ate a fiber-rich meal, and the speed at which you drink the juice or the smoothie. So which one is better? Honestly, I use both. If I'm making a post-workout shake or I want to put on some weight and muscle, I'm drinking smoothies. But if I want a concentrated hit of plants, vitamins, and nutrients, the juicer makes more sense. Most people already have a blender in their house, but not a juicer. And juicing is one of the easiest ways to get more fruits and vegetables without adding tons of calories. When I'm consistent with it, I have more energy, better skin, and less inflammation. If you're curious about trying it, I've been testing out the Namaste 2 for a while. It gets a lot of juice out, it cleans up easily, and the 15-year warranty is there, so it's one of those things where you can just buy it and pretty much you're set. I'll keep a link in the description updated with the best discount, and if you want to see a full review of the Namaste 2, check out this video.